Media.pro. Welcome back to Positive Talk Radio. Our goal is simple: to explore evolving ideas one conversation at a time. So come on over into our world. I know you'll like it, because on today's show, hey, we're excited. We've got one of my favorite guests of all time is with us today, and I think that you will also enjoy the conversation that we're about to have with her. Her name is Lengling, and she is an extraordinary woman, and we're going to talk about all of that. But first, as usual, sometimes we've got technical issues, and we shall see how we can clean those up. Eric, how do I sound? Or Nathan, how do I sound?
Oh, there's your bad luck for today. Eric, how does it sound? So far, we're doing good, and we're just going to kind of roll through everything real quick, and if one doesn't work, we'll just jump on to the others. So we'll get the show going as fast as possible today.
And I do love that about technology. There's multiple ways that we can make it all work.
Yes, so you get to kind of get a little behind the scenes live on the air today. That's just our bad luck. It's Friday the 13th. I mean, luckily for me, I haven't seen a black cat crossing in front of me. I haven't broken a mirror yet. I mean, usually I do, but... so far, so good today.
It is Friday the 13th. Are you superstitious?
I mean, you gotta wonder sometimes.
Well, I know. I know. In any event, the weather is going to be good for the weekend, I hope.
The weather, kind of. I mean, we'll have times where it's sunny and it's raining. It's just kind of a weekend where the weather will do whatever the heck it wants, because... it's not really sure where it's going to rain and where it's going to be maybe a little sunny.
Yeah, it's going to be a blustery weekend. That's
yes.
life. That's what we have. So in any event, that's good. I'm glad everybody's here. It's lunchtime, and I've got an extraordinary guest for you today, and we're going to talk about her right now, and that is Kim Lengling, and she is a author. She is a podcaster.
Here it's lunchtime. Talk about her.
I'm fixing that.
And
okay, it seems like according to what's going on, we're going to have to go with the phone. So I'm going to remove her from StreamYard, and we're just going to have her stay onto the phone. So Kim, you can just go ahead and leave the StreamYard. Unfortunately, we won't get your video today, but I'll go ahead and bring you onto the phone. And we got her on the phone. Uh-oh. Let me call her back real quick. That's Friday the 13th for you.
That's the way it is. Well, I hope now's a great time for you to go through the drive-thru and to be talking to the person in the window. And by the way, when you do that, give them a smile and say, I'm glad you do what you do, and I thank you for that. And it'll make your day brighter, and it'll make their day brighter. And let me continue talking to you about Kim, because there's a lot to say. And that is, number one, she's, like I said, is an author. She's got a brand new book out that we're going to be talking about. She's also got a podcast, which is called Let Fear Bounce. She also is the developer of a program called Nuggets of Hope, which we're also going to talk about. Now, she's been on the show before, and we've talked to her about her quite a little bit. And we've gone through the Nuggets of Hope. And we also, it's interesting because occasionally, not very often, but occasionally we will have to run an encore presentation. So I happened to be in my car when we were running one of these, and we were running a Kim show, and we were talking about her volunteering for the VA that she does in her neck of the woods, and how important it is. And it was a good show. So I encourage you to go back. First of all, we have 630 some odd shows up on positivetalkradio.net. And I encourage you to go there. And if you miss any of these shows live, you can go back there and look at them all. And like I said, there are 630 of them, or YouTube. And then you can see our shining faces, except unfortunately, Kim's shining face isn't going to be available today, but we'll be talking with her. And also we are on Positive Talk Radio.
Oh, excuse you, Kevin.
Excuse me. It must be Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Well, in this case, let's go ahead and let you know that Kim is now on the phone, so we're good to go. We're just going to do a phone interview, but if you're watching us on StreamYard, we'll get something up there at least so you can see her face and some other things. I'll put up her website. We'll at least get something as far as it goes to help out with the video, but she's going to be audio only for today.
Yes, she has a beautiful website, and you can look at that and find out all about her.
Well, let's go ahead and bring her on right now.
Let's
waste no more time.
Yes, indeed.
And here is Kim Lengling joining us from the phone. Welcome to the Positive Talk Radio Show, Kim Lengling. You're now on the air.
Well, hey, thank you so much for having me.
How are you doing today? Kim? Kimmy? Kim? Are we there?
Oh, sorry. Just me pushing the wrong button.
Oh. Very good. Kim, are we there?
I am here. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. This is live radio in Seattle. So, so occasionally those things happen. How are you today?
I am doing all right. My goodness, we finally got connected here.
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes it just is that way, but it gives the audience an opportunity, gives all you guys out there to realize that sometimes nothing is perfect. But in this case, it is perfect because I get to talk to my good friend who has got a new book out, and she also does her own podcast, and she's developed the program called Nuggets of Hope, which I just love. And she also does care packages for our military guys and gals that are overseas, some of them living in a tent. Very few of them have access to like snack bars and places like that because they are all in a in remote areas and stuff. So it's fun to talk to her about all the things she's doing. So Kim, it's I guess we've talked about a bunch of stuff with you. I guess let's start with, you have got a new book out.
I do, and it's brand new as of August 11th. So just a short time ago. It's called Paw Prints on the Couch, and it's all about our pets. Most of the stories in there are about rescue pets. Those from shelters and stuff like that, and how they have enriched our lives and, sometimes saved our lives and keep us on track as us mere humans. We need our animals to keep us on track at times. But yeah, the book has been out for several weeks now, and it's gotten some really nice and just beautiful reviews. And the stories are, if you have a heart, they'll touch you. That's about the easiest way to put it. If you want to get a copy of the book, it's ebook and paperback. If you have a heart, it is going to touch your heart in some way.
I think our animal friends are. I've had a bunch, and I've lost a bunch, and it hurts so badly every time you lose one that I don't want to get another one because I don't want to hurt that badly again. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does, and I understand that because I've been there too, and then my house is too quiet, and so I typically end up getting another one. But I've been very blessed that my dogs that I've had, the youngest that they've passed on was at 13. So for I think the oldest was 14. So their lives do seem awful short to us, but I strongly believe their lives are shorter because they have a job to do, and they do their job so very well. And then when they're done, they're called home.
And the cool thing is I know this for a fact, that when it's our time to go, even though we're here longer, they're patiently waiting with a wagging tail for us on the other side.
I firmly believe that as well. Yes, indeed.
Because I've got a
beautiful thing. What a beautiful sight that will be, huh? To be greeted by all those little perfect little souls that touched your life in some way. I mean, what an amazing sight that's going to be.
Exactly. Do you know who John Edward is?
No, I do not. I don't believe so.
He is a psychic medium. He did Crossing Over, and he's really pretty well world renowned in all that he does. Well, I had him on the show one time, and he told me for a fact that my two dogs that I dearly loved when I was growing up and when I was an adult, they're with my dad, who's over there as well. And they're all patiently waiting for me to show up there many, many, many years from now.
But to them, it's not many years. It's a different time, I think. There's different time continuums in there, but what an awesome thing. How awesome.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. What gave you the idea to write Paw Prints on the Couch? I love the title, by the way.
This has been something I've been wanting to do for years. And I call him my old guy. He passed away about 5 years ago. His name was Digger. And for the last 6 to 7 years of his life, I was writing down the conversations that he and I would have. And he had a Facebook page and he had a following and people just loved Digger. And he went everywhere with me. Everywhere I went, he was my sidekick. I did nothing without him. And he was very, very in tune with me. And I live with PTSD, and he wasn't trained to be any type of service dog, but he just intuitively became one for me. So if I would have an anxiety attack creeping in, he would let me know before I knew. So he would come and nudge me, or he would make sure he was right next to me, touching me. Or if I was having a nightmare, he would wake me up. And it's just over the years, he became so in tune with me. So I would just look at him and think, you're so much more than a dog. And I wrote down these conversations for years, and I have them all written. And it's a book in itself, and I just haven't published it yet. And the reason being is because when I sit down and try and work on it, to tweak it, to turn it into an actual book, without fail, I end up crying. So I have to, and this is 5 years later, so I have to, I'm just letting that one come as it comes. And it will, if you can hear another dog barking, that's my grand dog. Have him for the week. I always have dogs here, so part of my life. I wanted to get a book out with stories about animals, whether it's dogs, cats, horses, snakes, gerbils, whatever, about how they touch people's lives and how they came into people's lives. And so that's what this book is all about. And Paw Prints on the Couch, I just thought it was a perfect name because I've always got paw prints on my couch. So, it's just part of the day to clean them off. So yeah, it was a fun, really fun book to put together. A lot of laughter and, a few tears interspersed in between there, but worth doing. And I want to do another one. I'm looking forward to doing another one, and that one might be called Paw Prints on the Kitchen Floor.
that would be fun, because when you think about it, nobody comes home when I came home. Like, I used to travel for a little bit, and when I would come home and I'd been gone for 3 or 4 or 5 days, he was always just, I'm talking about my dog Crockett, was always beside himself. He was nobody was happier to see me, including my wife, than he was. And he just made your heart warm. And dogs do that. And I'm not so much of a cat person. I may have to learn how to be one, but because cats have got a unique personality all their own as well.
They do. Every animal does. Every animal. I can't, it's hard for me to picture my life without, now I'm a dog person. I just happen to be a dog person. It's hard to picture myself without one. I held off for 6 months after I had to say goodbye to Digger, and that was way too long. It was very, very hard for me, those 6 months. And I thought, well, I can't do that. Like you had said, I can't do it. My goodness, it crushed me. I was absolutely crushed. And it didn't stop. That feeling didn't stop. And I thought that it would after, maybe a month, maybe 2, maybe 3 months, but it didn't. And I thought, wow, this is not healthy, Kim.
Yeah.
I 6 months later, I went to my local shelter and got the little guy I got now. Well, he's not little, but I got the guy I got now. His name is Dexter, and he's just full of it. And he is in this January, I believe he'll be about 8 years old. So I got him when he was 2. He was a stray, so I had no background on him, but he was very sickly, very skinny, very ill, and very, very skittish. So I think that he was probably abused in some form or fashion. But got him here, and 3 months after I got him, he settled in, and, now it's just, hey, he's my new sidekick, me and Dex.
Yeah, and on your website, he's your office manager.
He is my office manager. He keeps me in line. And he likes to tell me, hey, Mom, it's time that you take a walk. You need to get outside, Mom, and take a walk. So he lets me know when I need to take a break. So he lets me know when I need to go get a treat, and then, of course, give him one. And then he knows when I need to go take a walk. And, of course, he gets to go for the walk as well because he's in charge. He's the office manager. So, yeah, he keeps me in line. He keeps me on track.
And that's really what they do for us. I was just thinking, now we need to take a break, but I was just thinking that when we come back, we should open up the phone lines. And if anybody wants to memorialize or talk about their favorite animal pet that they had, you're welcome to do that. Is that all right with you if we do that, Kim?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have people call and give a shout out to their favorite pet. Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. So you're listening to Positive Talk Radio. We need to take a quick break, and we've got King Lengling on the line. You can go to KimLenglingAuthor.com and get the book and find out all about her, find out when her podcast is and all that. We're going to return in just a moment, and I think we've got the technical stuff taken care of, so we should be good. We'll be right back.
Do you need to boost your sales? Join our partnership program. Each quarter, we promote 10 partner businesses. What will you get? The company will produce one 30-second video for your business. Your website links on positivetalkradio.net and kmmedia.pro. One dedicated podcast or radio show per month. One video Instagram reel. One YouTube short. One 60-second clip for social media taken from your interview, and at least one commercial airplay per show. All podcast and video commercials are within the fabric of the show and will remain in the show forever. Visit kmmedia.pro to book a consultation today.
When you want to say more than words communicate, you can with flowers. Your custom boutique floral studio in Bothell, Washington is anaturaldesign.com, connecting you to nature through the language of flowers. Where your people are is where our flowers are beautiful. Your success is our goal.
For being our appreciated listener, you can use promo code PTR20 at checkout to receive 20% off your order.
anaturaldesign.com at your fingertips today.
We believe in the power of telling your stories. We want to help yours be seen and heard. At the Pacific Northwest Collaborative Magazine, our purpose is to connect you to your community. Let's begin by celebrating the accomplishments of local artists featured in this brand new digital magazine. Here, you can learn about opportunities to creatively come together and support our local community and neighbors through the gift of art and service. If your business or organization would like to take part in this magazine, message us on Instagram at pnw.collab. You can download our free digital magazine at KM Media Pro today.
Thank you to our dedicated fans. We are updating our live on-air schedule to make it super easy for you to hang out with us 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, and live on Fridays with Kixie 8:80 a.m. Seattle Live. You can find our library to binge all the podcast platforms. We can't wait to see you at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, starting September 4th, Labor Day 2023.
And welcome back, everybody, to Positive Talk Radio. It's Friday. It's noon. We have Kim Lengling on the phone with us today, and we're so glad that she is here. By the way, Kim, I got to tell you. Can I tell you?
Absolutely. I want to hear.
Good. Because I don't think you have any choice. But anyway, we've got a digital magazine out now that you can go to kmmedia.pro, and there's a sign or one of the links. You can click on the link of Pacific Northwest Magazine, and you can scroll down. And we've got 3 of them out now: one for the spring, one for the summer, one for the fall, and it's all about local artists and people that are doing some great things in the area, and you can download it for free, or you can just scroll through it when you're online. So any way you want to do that, you can do that. And also, we are, and it was on the commercial, we are now doing 5 days a week at 3 p.m. either on our podcast and in YouTube, or on KKNW and or Kixie. And Kixie, we're on today at 3, and KKNW we do Monday, and then we do Monday at 4 and 3. So at right around 3 o'clock, you can catch Positive Talk Radio and all of our great guests that we have all the time, one of which is with us today. Kim is with us. She's written the book, Paw Prints on the Couch. Go to Kim Lengling, that's Lengling, author.com, and you can find out all about her and her work and her coffee drinking and all that kind of good stuff. So I will encourage you to do that. And Kim, I got to tell you, I just enjoy having you here so much, because you are one of those incredible people. And before we open the phone lines and talk to dog lovers or cat lovers, I just want to go over the 2 things that just impressed the heck out of me when you created them. And the first one is Nuggets of Hope. Can you describe what you do there? And I hope everybody will pick this up and start utilizing it themselves. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. First off, I appreciate those kind words. They're humbling. But Nuggets of Hope, a couple years ago, I started doing this. I felt a very strong nudge to do something with the word hope, because I was seeing and hearing the word hope everywhere. And I thought, okay, well, obviously I'm supposed to be doing something with this, because it's just everywhere for several weeks. And I had remembered I had a little pack of, they're like playing cards, but they have affirmations on them, like, you're great, you're awesome, you're a rock star. So I had those, and I'm like, well, what can I do with them? Maybe those will be little nuggets of hope. So I started carrying those with me, and when I'd be out on my errands, I would drop them around the stores, put them in with the cookies, or I would tuck them in a pocket of a pair of jeans, or I'd put them in with the motor oil. I'd tuck them wherever I felt like tucking them, and I thought, okay, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, But that nudge never left me, nuggets of hope, and the word nugget kept coming to me, and I was supposed to be doing more. And I'm going, I don't know. What am I supposed to be doing? And then I realized I was overthinking it. I was just overthinking it. Just give someone a nugget of hope. So nugget, to me, made me think of small stone. So I found some very pretty, small, polished stones with the word hope engraved on them, and ordered some of those and started carrying those with me in my coat pocket, in my purse, and in my car. And then I realized I wasn't supposed to just leave those, to just drop them places. I was actually supposed to give them to people. And that was so strongly in my mind, that nudge, you need to give these to people personally. And I thought, wow, that's people are going to think I'm crazy. They're going to think, who is this wackadoodle woman? But I felt so strongly that I was supposed to do that, so I did. And it was very uncomfortable the first few times, because I was just out and about doing my errands, and I would just notice someone and thought, oh, that's the person I'm supposed to give a nugget of hope to today. And it was just it was such a strong feeling. So I knew what I was doing was right, because it was such a strong feeling and such a strong nudge. and I'm a Christian, so I feel that those nudges were coming from God, and that's my personal belief. And so the first time, I literally walked up to a complete stranger. This person, it was just, I felt so strongly to approach and said, "Excuse me, I would like to give you a nugget of hope today." And they held out their hand, and I just dropped that little stone in the palm of their hand and said, "I wish you a blessed day." And I walk away. I don't feel that I'm supposed to chat with them and find out anything about them. I'm just supposed to give them that little nugget, whether they need it that moment, or maybe they need it the next day, whenever. But I'm doing my part. And I've been doing that for 2 years now. And the reactions that I've been getting from folks, some laugh at me, or they feel, you can tell I'm making them uncomfortable, or they look at me like, wow, you're kind of crazy. You seem nice enough, but you're still a little crazy. I've had laughter. I've had tears. I've had people give me hugs. And still to this day, I've just had one older gentleman, yell at me in anger. And it was true anger. He was angry and what he asked me was, and he yelled it at me in the middle of a store. "What the hell do I have to hope for?" And that I didn't take it personal, because I realized this gentleman's going through something big, and he might not appreciate that little nugget that I gave him, but you know what? He accepted it, and he did put it in his pocket, even though he was yelling at me in anger. So he was the absolute right person for me to approach that day. And I didn't take anything he said to me personally, because I know it wasn't against me. It was against the world, or whatever it was that he was going through at that time. And he was one, though, when I got back to my car, I did sit in my car, and my head dropped onto my steering wheel, and I did cry. I did cry for a bit, because my heart hurt so bad for him, because I knew he was going through something big. But I did what I was supposed to do, and I gave him that little nugget. So whether he looked at it that day and thought about it, or maybe it was the next day and he thought about it and it gave him a little spark, a little light, then my job was done well. So that's what I've been doing for the past couple years. Just, approaching strangers and giving them stones.
I like to think of it this way. He yelled at you. You walked away. He thought to himself, that really wasn't very nice of me. I know I'm going through some tough times, but she had nothing to do with any of that. And so he kept it in his pocket. He goes home, and as older people do, they generally empty their pockets on the counter and stuff. And so he took out his change, and that little nugget of hope fell onto the counter. And he looked at it, and then he began to think about it. And so for the rest of the week and for the rest of that month, every time he put his change back in his pocket, the little nugget of hope went with him. You changed the man's life. You'll never know that, but that's how I think that story developed, because it was so important.
Me too. Exactly. Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking when I was in my car crying. Thinking he doesn't appreciate it now, but he, it's going to hit him when it's supposed to hit him. And I did what I strongly feel I did what I was supposed to. Now, he's the only one who's ever reacted that way in the 2 years I've been doing this. And it's not, I don't set out to do this. I just always have these I'll keep one in my pocket. I don't keep a handful. I keep one in my pocket. And if someone, I feel so strong, it doesn't happen every time I'm out there. It's so, I'm not out there, scoping people out like a crazy creeper. I'm not stalking people.
You don't look anything like a crazy creeper.
But so I always keep one in my pocket or in my purse, and not all the time when I'm out and about does it. Do I feel that nudge? I got little cards made too. That it's just a picture of a hand holding out a little tiny nugget of hope, and it just says, share a nugget of hope today. And on the back of it, it has, the world is a better place because you are in it. And I recently was out west, a few months ago, visiting my brother in Nevada. And I had taken some of those cards with me to keep in my purse because, stones are a little heavy. So I had some of these cards, and my brother and I were out and about, and I had told him about, my little Nuggets of Hope mission. And there was a lady there. She worked in a retail place that we were in, and she was obviously going through something, but you could tell she slapped on a smile when we walked in the door and did her darndest to be welcoming and friendly, but you could see it in her eyes that there was something big, and she was just so sad. And it slammed me. It hit me so hard. And my brother and I were leaving. We're walking across the parking lot, and I just looked at my brother and I said, I have to go back in there. And he goes, what did we forget? And I said, nothing. I have to give her a nugget of hope. And he goes, what? And I went, I told you this is what I do, and I feel so strong. I have to go back in there. And he goes, oh, my gosh, Kimmy. He calls me Kimmy. He goes, oh, my gosh, Kimmy. He goes, you told me you were doing this, but I didn't think I was going to witness you doing it. And I said, well, I have to. I feel so strong, and my heart hurts for her. So I ran back in, gave her 2 little cards. I said, this is one for you, and then I feel strongly that you're supposed to give one to someone as well. And she started crying. And she said, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's all she said. And I just said, I hope you have a blessed day. And I walked back out. And my brother's standing there in the doorway watching through the window. And he goes, oh, my gosh. And I said, yeah, do you want a couple of these cards to carry around with you? And then you can give them out. And he goes, I don't think I'm there yet. But, so, yeah, I was able to do it on the West Coast as well. So, I try and keep them with me all the time because you never know whose path you're going to be placed in for a very specific reason.
That's right. That's right. And it's important. And, you are empathetic, and you are such a real person, and people make an imprint upon you. And sometimes it makes you cry. Sometimes it makes you laugh, but it's because you are such a unique and dynamic soul here that you are able to help other people. And all you're doing is you're acknowledging their pain and saying, gosh, tomorrow's going to be a better day. And here you go. And there's nothing's attached to it. There's not a little booklet that goes with it, and then you don't have to say, let's just sit down and pray or any of that. It's just you're acknowledging them as a fellow human being. And that's the reason I keep asking you to tell that story is because I want all of us to when we walk into a store, when we're talking to the cashier, when we're seeing somebody that's down, all it takes is a smile. Just acknowledge who they are and give them a smile, and your smile will convey, I care for you as a human, and I hope that things get better for you. And that's all it is.
Right.
And I hope everybody does that.
Just to acknowledge, you see them. That's how I feel. Those are the words that come to mind when I think about this little mission that I'm on. People feel seen because we all know, you've been there. God knows I've been there, had tough times, very bumpy roads where you can feel very, very alone. Whether that's a rational thought or not, we've all been there where you feel completely alone. And I think, like you said, a simple smile is a nugget of hope. Hey, compliment a stranger. Say, you know what? You are rocking that jacket today. You look awesome. Compliment a stranger. You have no idea. You have no idea what that could do for someone. Could be turning their life around. We have no idea. So why not be kind? It doesn't cost you anything to be kind. So just be kind. This world it has too much darkness and negativity and evil in it. So to combat that, those of us out there that aren't evil have to combat that with kindness. So why shouldn't we do it? And if you're not doing it, why not? That's my question.
Exactly, and it's not that hard. It can be really easy. And
No, it's not hard at all, and it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you a dime to be kind at all.
absolutely, I believe that we all have experience in our lives for a reason. And one of the things that I experienced was I drove a Seattle Metro bus for 12 years. And I believe that one of the reasons that I was guided to that job was so that I could learn that how you behave towards other people can affect them. You may be smiling at somebody and nobody else has said a word to them all day long. Think about that. If you can make somebody's day just by being pleasant or by smiling, then you've accomplished your mission. The rest of their day is going to be whatever it is, but the part that you had in it, they're going to remember fondly, and it's going to impact them in a real positive way. And who knows, they may end up turning around and smiling at somebody else and being nice. And that's how it begins.
That's right. It's contagious. Kindness is contagious.
Exactly. And I really honestly believe that. And more people are doing things like that. There's a musical group that they're called Sisters J, and they came on the show and they've got a song out that is called Remember When. And basically what it is when you have a loved one that goes off to college or excuse me, open win. Thank you, Nathan. He knows my darn show better than I do. But it's a song about when you go off to college or somebody's going to be away from you for a period of time. You take these little thoughts and you put them in an envelope and in envelopes, and then you put them in a box and you give them this box when they leave, so that when they're feeling down, when they're feeling alone, sounds like a song, when they're feeling like nobody cares, they can open the box, pull out this little envelope, and it'll have a wonderfully warm moment in time for them to remember who they really are and that they're not alone. And so you're doing what they're doing. And if more people did what you guys are doing, we would be in a whole different place. Don't you think?
Oh my, can you imagine? Can you imagine what the world would be like? It would be so
It would
much
be
better.
worth living in. It would be really cool. So I wanted you to tell that story for that. The next time you're on, you're going to be on Kixie next week at 3:00, and then I'm going to make you talk about the VA and what you do for them. Is that okay?
Sure.
Because then the next time you have to
know.
You're welcome. I very rarely let anybody know what we're going to talk about on the show, but what the heck? Because then when you take your puppy out for a walk, you won't be able to get your head through the door.
Right.
Because you are truly remarkable, and Paw Prints on the Couch is a remarkable book. I'm glad that you wrote it. We need to take a break real quick, but we're going to open up the phone lines. Nathan, if somebody wants to call in during the break to tell us about their animal friend and their special experience with them, they can do that. If they want to do that, how do they do that?
Sure, they can just give us a call at 425-373-5527. That's our local number, 425-373-5527. Or they can call the toll-free line at 1-888-298-5569. Again, 1-888-298-5569, which just happens to spell out KKNW.
Amazing. Who thought of that?
Must be good luck on this bad luck Friday.
Well, we will be we're a little late for our break, but we shall be returning in just a minute, so stay right where you are, please.
Thank you to our dedicated fans. We are updating our live on-air schedule to make it super easy for you to hang out with us 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, and live on Fridays with Kixie 8:80 a.m. Seattle Live. You can find our library to binge all the podcast platforms. We can't wait to see you at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, starting September 4th, Labor Day 2023.
Hello, everybody. If I could have your attention, please, I have an important announcement to make just for you. As you may know, PTR is heard and seen on radio, KKNW, and now Kixie, several websites, podcasts, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and most social media. At PTR, we believe in working together to make the world a better place, and because you're listening, we know that you're dedicated to the same. So we'd like to support your efforts by offering an outstanding multimedia package for you at a deeply discounted rate. As our partner, you'll receive commercial creation, both video and audio, at least 10 commercial plays per week, a monthly show to highlight your business and passion, exclusive website positioning with links, video shorts for social media, commercial plays on all shows, podcasts, KKNW, and Kixie. Your commercial is embedded into each episode and as a podcast is sent to over 50 different platforms. All shows are performed live and sent to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and stay there forever. Your podcast episodes are provided to you to use as you see fit. This one-time offer is only $250 a week, based on a 13-week commitment, and as our partner, we are vested in your success, and will do everything in our power to make it happen. However, there are limited spots available, so don't hesitate. Please email me at kevin@kmmedia.pro, and let's get the ball rolling.
When you want to say more than words communicate, you can with flowers. Your custom boutique floral studio in Bothell, Washington is anaturaldesign.com, connecting you to nature through the language of flowers. Where your people are is where our flowers are beautiful. Your success is our goal. anaturaldesign.com at your fingertips today.
Hey there, I would personally like to thank you for making Positive Talk Radio part of your day. Whether you like podcasts or the radio show, we're glad to have you along. I'd love to hear from you with thoughts about the show and ways that we can make it even better. You are the reason we do these shows, because the more people we can touch, the better we can make the planet and our time here just magnificent. Please contact me, Kevin, at kmmedia.pro with any thoughts, comments, or suggestions, and thank you for being in my dream. And welcome to our last few minutes with on Positive Talk Radio. Yeah, and we've got Kim Lengling with us, and you can go to kimlenglingauthor.com and you can get her book, which is Paws on the Couch, right?
Paw prints on the couch.
Oh, but because there used to be paws on the couch, you see, paw prints on the couch.
Right.
It's it's right in front of me. I should have got that. By the way, I've got something interesting that I need to tell you, Kim. And
Okay.
everybody else,
I'm listening.
everybody else who's listening can listen in. I got the most beautiful message from a gentleman today. Actually, it was in the middle of the night because he is in England, and his name is Jacob Rothschild, the fourth Baron Rothschild. He is actually Sir Jacob, and he has graciously decided that he's following us on Facebook, and he likes the show. He likes what we're doing. And then while we were talking, this is what he wrote. As we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others, and power comes not from knowledge kept, but from knowledge shared. I thought that was really, really quite beautiful. What did you think?
It is. It is. And what an awesome thing, you know? Don't you love when stuff like that happens? You just, all of a sudden, this is you virtually meet someone, or however it is that you meet someone, and you're just like, wow, that's another beautiful person. Look at this. See, the world's filled with them.
They are. All we need to do is to
Yeah.
understand it. And Nathan,
That's right.
has anybody called in to talk about their pooch yet?
Not at the moment, but we still have our phone lines open, and we'll just go ahead and remind people one more time that the phone number is to call in locally in Seattle is 425-373-5527, or toll free from anywhere if you don't want to pay like a long distance fee in case you're calling from Australia or something, is 1-888-298-5569.
Please call in with a heartfelt story, because if you do, you're going to make Kim cry. I know that's going to happen.
Yes, call in, give a shout out to just, hey, if you just want to say your pet's name and why they mean so much to you,
Exactly.
Hey, my dog's name is Dexter. He is a goofball, and I absolutely love him. I have my grand dog here with me today. His name is Otis, and he is an Otis. He's just an Otis. He's a big surf ball.
So, quick question: when you say
he's a doofus.
When you say your grand dog, does that mean it's a puppy of one of the dogs you've already owned, or is it your grandchild's dog?
It's my daughter's dog, because my daughter just gave birth to her very first baby. So I'm actually now officially, as of 2 days ago, a grandma to not only a dog, but a human baby as well.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's very exciting.
Indeed. Does she live close to you?
She does. Yeah, she's just about 20 minutes from me. So, yeah, super exciting. Oh, my goodness. She had a little girl. So exciting.
Oh, so you get to go and watch a little girl grow up and help your daughter, and I'm glad you're close.
Yes, it'll be fun. Yeah, I can teach her all about the realm, because of course, Kevin, you do know, I think I've shared this with you before, I am the queen of the realm. And I can't wait to teach this little princess all about the wonders in nature out in my realm. So
yeah, because you've got a little bit of acreage, don't you?
I am in the country, yes, indeed. So I'm outside often and chit-chatting with all the critters that come through my realm. So I cannot wait to take this grandbaby out there and show her, all the wonders of nature.
And you've also been, I think, in your neck of the woods, in your immediate area, aren't you called the Nugget Lady from time to time?
Sometimes I am.
Oh,
yes,
look out! Here comes the Nugget Lady.
Someone recognizes me. Yes.
Well, that is so awesome. That is really cool. And the name of the book again is Paw Prints on the Couch. It is stories about your dog, your cat, Now, I don't. You said something that I find hard to believe. How can and somebody will correct me, I'm sure, but how can a snake be a pet?
Okay, I personally would not care to have a snake as a pet, but I've known people that have had snakes as a pet. So when I say pets, I want to make sure I'm open and not just saying dogs and cats. So I always throw in, hey, if you got snakes or gerbils or an opossum, whatever, you love that pet and they have enriched your life in some way, Maybe you have a tarantula. Not my first choice, but some people like spiders. So,
well, that's the thing. I could not sleep at night if there was a snake in a geranium, or there was a tarantula. Just on the thought that I might get out.
Yeah, I couldn't either. I mean, that's not my first choice of pet, But some people. The people that have those, whoever these people are that have pets, your pets, whatever they may be, they love them unconditionally. So,
yep.
I mean, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing right there. So if people love their snakes and their tarantulas and other slimy critters, that's awesome.
Yep, and there are some people that I know of. One individual, I was reading about him anyway, that he liked to give his pet rattlesnake a kiss
Awesome.
until it bit him in the tongue. That wasn't so good.
Good. See, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
So Kim, you've got the book out and you're working to get that out there. You've got a bunch of stuff going on. What's next for you?
Well, I actually, next year, around the middle of next year, that's my plan anyway. That's my goal. I have things put in place to have this happen. I'm going to have a book come out called Nuggets of Hope, interestingly enough. So that book, hopefully, June, July of 2024, Nuggets of Hope will be coming out, and that's going to be sharing some of my interactions with the folks that I've been blessed to come across over the past couple of years, and why I do what I do, and just trying to make, hopefully, the book that'll give another avenue for people to think about how they too can be a nugget of hope or a shining light for someone. So that's just part of the journey. So that's what I'm working on right now. And of course, I'm going to be starting another, probably a volume 2 of Paw Prints on the Couch, but it's going to be Paw Prints on the Kitchen Floor. So those 2 books, that's what I'm going to be working on. And so hopefully they will be published and released next year. So that's 2 things I'm working on, plus my podcast. I'm always working on my podcast, which is Let Fear Bounce. So that's a weekly show. And I keep busy. I just like to keep busy, Kevin.
Yes, you do. And you are. And, I just had a thought, and tell me if you agree with this. If you are somebody that, if you're sitting in your car right now and you are looking forward to the weekend, but there's really nothing for you to do, your kids may live away from you, or you don't really have a lot of close friends that you're going to go visit, and so you're going to end up sitting at your house alone. Um, I really suggest that you do something like what Kim has been doing with Nuggets of Hope. And when you're out at the grocery store and or wherever you are, and you see somebody that is feeling down and needs something, just pull your big pants on and go over to them with a smile and give them a card that you develop or a nugget that you develop, and it will do your heart good, and it will also take away the lonely feelings that you may have. Do you agree with that?
Yes, because we all need that human connection. It's essential. The human connection is essential. It's very easy, and I'm saying this from personal experience. It's very easy to isolate yourself and just stay away from humanity. It's very easy, and if I let myself do that, I could do it very easily. It's not healthy long term.
Nope.
So, like I said earlier, a nugget of hope can literally just be you complimenting a stranger. You see someone say, "Oh my goodness, I love your hair. I love your hair," or "I love that jacket," or "That's a beautiful sweater you have on today." That right there is a nugget of hope. Don't put too much thought into it, because that's what I did. I was putting too much thought into it, and I stressed myself out. I'm going, how can I be stressed about hope? So don't put a lot of thought into it. Just smile at a stranger, shake someone's hand, compliment a stranger. You have no idea the impact you're going to have.
We've been talking with Kim Lengling. Go to her website, which is kimlanglingauthor.com. Again, get the book, and you're going to enjoy that and everything. Kim, I've loved having you on the show. These hours go so fast with you here.
They do. They fly by, don't they?
They really do. And I want to tell everybody that we're going to be back at 3:00 on Kixie. So tune into that, because we're going to be talking to an author and a PhD, and we're going to be talking women's issues. So if you're a woman somebody who loves women, tune into that show. I think it'll be really, really good. And by the way, be kind to one another, because each other is all we've got. Thank you, Kim. Have a great day, everybody.